Welcome to the program. Operations at the St. Mary's Mission Hospital have returned to normal after a forceful change of management at the facility yesterday. Patients and staff were kicked out by auctioneers hired by Assumption Sisters of Nairobi to effect a court order issued on the 20th of December. Our reporter Willie Lusiga returned to the St. Mary's Mission Hospital in Langata this morning and now joins me live from there with the latest. Willie, good morning. What more can you tell us?
Michelle, good morning. As you have already said, I'm at St. Mary Mission Hospital here in Langata. Remember, this hospital yesterday had turned out to be a battlefield between the old management and the new incoming management. Remember, there was a CAT cause which was filed at Nakuru court where the current management was told to get out of this hospital and let the new management, which is led by the Assumption of Sisters of Nairobi, to take over, while the previous management was led by Dr. Bishop William Friday. But maybe to get a clear picture of what has been happening here since yesterday, we have already visited some of the places and we have seen that treatment now is going on. The normalcy state has resumed, but apart from a few of the challenges that the new management is still facing. And maybe to get a clear picture, I have one of the management, one of the members of the management who is talking to us right now. Maybe you can tell us your name and what challenges have you faced so far since yesterday?
Thank you so much for coming back, KTN. My name is Audi Morris. I'm the incoming hospital manager or hospital administration for that matter. We came here to take the hospital over from the old management on behalf of Assumption Sisters of Nairobi. And because of change, which we always know is a problem, people don't accept it. There was a reaction from the old staff led by somebody they famously and popularly called Brayo. So these people resisted this change. They felt that this hospital is theirs and we cannot take over. They didn't want change. But one thing they forgot is that the hospital was officially given to the sisters and therefore now it was their property, whereas them, they are just employees. I actually told them that they have been caught in the crossfire simply because they are working here, but not because somebody is against them. We told them that for us to avoid challenges which will delay the implementation of the process and the service to the patients, they should continue working and know they are not going to be sacked. But many of them opted out, nearly 95 to 98%. Maybe one or two remained, but then they could not work because they were afraid of their colleagues. So they also left. We went through the challenge. We had some officers, we had nurses, we had doctors. Lucky enough, we had several clinical officers. They were distributed in most of the designation positions, which are like outpatients. We know that the eye of the hospital had several staff members, and it was covered throughout the night. Personally, as the member of the management, I spent the night here. I was here the whole day yesterday, and I'm still here because we want to make sure that however hard it is, the normalcy resumes and the patients are served. So several departments today are working, whether it is heart department, or whether it is cancer section, patients are being seen there, or whether it is whichever the department that is in the hospital is working, apart from theater, which we realized was vandalized by the former staff who are working there, and our ultrasound, when we opened, we found was stolen. The doctor came to work, Dr. Miduka, and he didn't find the machine. So we have asked him to write a report about that, and we report to police as we are looking for this machine. We are sure now next week it will work. Here in outpatients, things have been smooth. Patients have been arriving here as early as before 6 in the morning. I was there. We were there with some staff in the record. We were there with somebody who was the accountant and the clinical officers who were on night. The services started straight away, and as the members were coming, more of the staff were coming and patients were coming, the management of patients continued smoothly. The big number that the KTN might have seen here and other press is not there today because the smooth running of the department and all other departments. Our MCH, particularly yesterday, was not working. Today we have a clinical officer there who is specialized in obs-gyn and a nurse who are running the department, and the mothers are being served. A few patients who we cannot take to theater are being referred to other places, but we are sure we are going to serve them also. From the look of things, laboratory is working on my right very well. Patients are not clogging there, and any other department. Otherwise, we will appeal to our patients that the service we are going to offer is going to be better for you, and don't run away. Just come back. The hospital has resumed. The problem was the management, the incoming management taking over was the difficulty. There was no battle between the management and the staff. In my hands are even the letters which have been written by some of the members of staff who went away yesterday that they want to come back. And as I'm talking, they are already distributed in their working areas. Some of them we have sent home to come on night duty so that they will cover the night. There is nowhere now that we can say is not being served. Everybody is being served. Please come back. This is your hospital. It was meant for you. It is still for you. It will be there for you. Management will not be there if you are not there. So we are appealing to all the patients out there, the member of the public. St. Mary's is running, and as much as 1 or 2 challenges are there, but it is running and you will be served. I want to believe that information will now make you know that the hospital has not closed down. Thank you.
And before Mr. Audi, you go, yesterday we saw like one of the wards, the pediatric ward, all the patients had disappeared. Have you done anything to make sure maybe you bring back the patients and make sure also they get the full treatment that had already begun on them?
Thank you so much for that question. Unfortunately, that is one area where the staff who are there even disappeared with the files of the patients. And the same staff convince patients to run away by telling them that even the food which was prepared for them is poisoned and will kill them, which is not true. So now that they went away and we could not block them from going away, we are starting to admit patients. We have told our COs, our clinical officers for that matter in outpatients, that let them send the patients to that department. Already we have 2 doctors covering the whole pediatric area and 2 clinical officers, and therefore the service is on. Any patient we get, we will admit. But as per now, the ones who were there yesterday, they were convinced by the staff who were there, and they took off. But the hospital, the wards will be running. It was only 1 ward out of the 3 children's wards. The other 3 are running, and they even have the officers in place.
And maybe before I let you go, have you had any talk with the previous management or the old management? Because they were complaining that you never had any talk with them. And in regard to the staff they had, are you going to hire them again, or you'll just come in with a new members of staff?
Thank you. The management is the one we really wanted to talk to because they have all the documents for this staff who are here. These staff are working on contract. We wanted them to tell us who is on contract, whose contract is ending, whose contract is not ending, and where they have been, so that we see how to organize. But they opted out, and none of them has shown. The staff who are there before, we yesterday said clearly they are not sacked. And we would have wished that they stayed around, we discuss and distribute them. But they opted out. So now when they are coming back, we are asking them to write letters to prove that they are committed to coming back to work with us. And in my hands are some of them who have committed, and already they are in workstations. We didn't sack them. When they come and they agree that they are going to work, they simply need to write for us letters to confirm that they are ready and willing to work with the management that has come in. The true thing is that this hospital is big. We cannot suddenly get enough staff. The ones who are there, together with the few who we brought just to fall in case they left like they did, we are going to work together as a team, and then we continue with the hospital. We have not sacked them, but now they have to commit themselves so that we are sure who are we talking about. If the management would have given files, then we would have dealt with the files. Now that the files are also not there, we are asking them to give us letters so that we can also start opening temporary files for the ones who are willing. There are some who have clearly said they don't want to come back. Those ones also we cannot force to come back, and we wish them well. To the ones who are coming, come and commit yourself, then you are given your workstation and we continue. We are Kenyans, the hospital is serving Kenyans.
Some of the old staff members were also injured during the incident, and they say that you refused to treat them. Have you provided maybe treatment to them, or are you still welcoming them to come back here and seek further treatment?
Thank you so much. I heard it personally when this gentleman appeared at where the press were, and he was raising up his hand that he had a fracture. I am a medical person and everybody else know what fracture is. If that hand was fractured and he was raising it up, then it must be a very different kind of fracture where it is, the hand is broken and you can raise the broken hand up. I thought that was a very painful hand, but for the first time I saw the hand which is broken, which is not painful and could be swung up in the air. But once you are injured and you are a patient, we will not refuse to treat you. You will follow the system of all the other patients and you are treated. This gentleman, even after talking like that, he never appeared in any clinic. So if he was injured, he must have decided to go elsewhere for treatment. But the one who would have been injured and came here for treatment, they were dealt with just like any other patients.
Thank you so much, Ms. Saudi. Michelle, as I wind up, you can remember that this St. Mary Mission Hospital serves a large number of the middle and low-income people from the surrounding slums area of Kibera, Mukuru, Kwaruben, and also the Mawinda slum, which is just adjacent near this hospital. And also, it is one of the major hospitals that most of the deliveries in this region are done. Actually, when I was going through the statistics here, they do deliver around 1,000 to 1,200 babies each month. So you can see the big role that this hospital is playing to those people who live nearby, and even others travel from other regions to come here. But as we keep on waiting here to see if everything will be going on as the new management takes over, I hand it back to you, Michelle.
All right, many thanks. So Willie Lusiga there live for us from the St. Mary's Mission Hospital in Langata. Normalcy is slowly resuming after that change of management yesterday. Now, it is now official that you risk finding